Ah, the humble French press. When it comes to making a delicious cup of coffee, it doesn't get much better than this. It's also incredibly simple. No electricity, no pods, no filters, no buttons, just coffee beans, water, and a simple plunger.
And while this is probably what comes to mind when you think of a French press, there are beaucoup options on the market with new features designed to make your life easier.
We've rounded up the competition, and today we're not only going to show you how to choose the right press for you, but we're also going to show you how to make the best, most delicious French press coffee.
I used to use a French press every day, and then to be honest, I had a couple catastrophes in a row. One involved spewing hot coffee all over my kitchen when I was trying to press it. I also smashed a glass one. Bring me back into the fold.
Very easily done, because we have a method that will make those things not happen, and it'll also make it easier to press. So as you know, with French press coffee, these are called French press, but in France, these are called cafetière à piston, because this is a piston.
Just like in a motor?
That's right, in a motor. So this is basically, you're gonna add your coffee and your water, and then you're gonna let it sit, and then you're gonna press the coffee to the bottom, and that's it. So taking out our piston, dump in our coffee.
Coarse to medium coarse grounds?
Yes, because it's gonna sit together, you need a big size so that it won't, over extract the coffee and make it taste really bitter. Not fussy, you throw the coffee in, and now you're just gonna pour the water in. The water has to be between 195 to 205, so boiling is 212. You wanna let it cool down a little bit. This is not pour over, you don't have to do like concentric circles and chant things. It's very simple. It's not precious, you just pour it in. You're gonna stop about an inch from the top, so there's some room for things to expand. And then I like to just put the piston back on top because you're gonna try to trap in some of that heat. You don't want all the heat to get lost. When you've got your water at the right temperature and you grind size the right size, steep together, in 4 minutes it's going to extract the delicious flavor compounds and not keep going and extract some bad tasting ones and make it very acidic and very harsh. So in 4 minutes you're gonna get all the good stuff and none of the bad stuff. So correct me if I'm wrong, this is where the disasters happen. You're pressing, it is super hard to press. You're creating a lot of pressure. The pot either erupts, all the hot lava comes out, or the glass breaks, right? And they do sell replacement carafes. If you have this style and you broke it, you can get a new one. But this will never happen again if you follow our method, which is you just lift this top up, take the piston off, and you can see there's like a raft of coffee in there. It's like a hockey puck. And when you're starting to push down, that's pushing back. It creates pressure. So I just grab a wooden spoon, or I like a chopstick, and stir it up, break it up, mix it into the coffee, and there is no raft anymore. And boy, does that look good.
That looks so delicious and creamy.
Yeah, now you're just gonna put your piston back on, the lid back on. You're gonna make sure that you are pressing gently and steadily. You never have to press very hard. I'm a weakling, so I'm not pressing hard. I'm hitting a point where it's a little bit stiff. I'm just releasing it an inch or so and then going again. And there we are. We're all the way to the bottom. We're ready to go. Some things are going to come through the tiniest pieces of coffee. They'll be suspended in the brew. It gives it a very rich, thick, full body. That's part of this style. I don't know, I picture myself sitting in a little cafe and I'm drinking my one cup, or I have my one friend and we're drinking our coffee together. For me, this is really perfect.
Absolutely delicious.
Yeah, and deliciously simple.
So let's talk texture first, because that seems to be one of the key things that people talk about with French press coffee.
Yeah, some people do not like that really heavy body of the coffee that has little particles in it. Now, if you look at the classic Bodum Chambord, so you can see there's like 3 layers that are keeping the coffee down. Now that's fairly fine mesh, but you still get that full body from the coffee because this is not completely sealed. This little spring around the edges keeps the mesh in place and helps to prevent coffee from coming up around it. But you're going to get some particulates in your coffee. Some people do not care for that style. There's some solutions for that. This French press is the Espro P7. They changed completely the way the piston is made. It's literally made of not 1 filter, but 2. And they're shaped like little baskets with an extremely fine mesh. And the base is solid. It forces it up and into the sides where it goes through 2 layers of mesh and is trapped in this basket by these double silicone fins all the way around. That will filter all of those particulates out of the coffee and give you more of a drip coffee experience.
You get the benefits of the method, but without that fuller bodied flavor, more like drip coffee.
Right. Another press that we tested that really tries to solve for that problem of the grit in the coffee is the Yeti Rambler. Now Yeti, we all know, is pretty famous for its coolers. This is an insulated pot. They did something similar to what Espro did, but they executed it a little differently. There's a fine metal mesh, there's a silicone fin all the way around, and on top there's this unique flap, a silicone disc that's attached to the stem in the middle and open all the way around the side. So as the coffee goes through that mesh and will not go around these fins, it goes through this flap, and the flap lifts up and lets the coffee through and holds back some of the particles that might have made it past this incredibly fine filter. So that's great, but it makes it incredibly hard to press or remove. It is really hard.
This is just empty. She's just trying to get the lid off right now.
Right, good thing it's not full of hot coffee. Maybe if I'm cleaning it and there's some hot coffee in there, it's a little bit hard to manage. It also has this open hole here. It doesn't close ever. So as you're pressing and you're using pressure, your hand is right here, and that hot steam and potentially hot coffee can come up and burn you. It's quite heavy even with nothing in it.
Yeah.
And if you have any kind of mobility issues, it's just not really a good choice. One of the things that we really learned about was the construction of the pots. You know, one of the things we talked about was that glass pots can shatter.
Been there.
Now the stirring will solve for that, so we don't not recommend glass pots. This one from OXO, it has this very large stainless steel holder that's a little more protective than these small bars on the bottom. And this one, this is by Le Creuset. It is ceramic, it's not a cast iron pot. It's like a teapot. You know, if you're worried about breaking any of these while you're handling them, which you are, you know, you're pressing down, you're stirring, you're pouring. If you don't want to worry about breaking, go for something like this one. This one by Stanley, it's called the Stanley Classic Stay Hot French Press, 48 ounces. 48 ounces is pretty big. It's also made of stainless steel. It's double walled, so it's nice and hot. It stays hot like its name, but it's not that heavy.
No, it's not. It sounds like material was a huge differentiator, and the classic glass ones are nice, but the stainless steel will not break and it will stay hot for longer.
You might still like a glass pot. You're gonna have to drink it a little faster. And you might still want the Le Creuset because it matches your kitchen in some way, but it's not going to have the same virtues as the stainless pot. Now most French presses are traditionally about 34 ounces. It's considered an 8-cup pot, which makes no sense to me.
Coffee cup sizes are very confusing.
Yeah, they're like 4, 5, or 6 ounces, never 8 ounces like a regular cup in the kitchen. And I think of these as more of a 1 to 2 person pot. Some of them only make one size. This one, for instance, by Stanley, it's a 48 ounce. This might do a little more for 3, 4 people with normal size cups, or I don't know, maybe you have a coffee habit where 48 ounces is good.
And how are you doing?
Yeah. Another thing we saw was that the size of the top opening mattered. This one by Stanley, much wider than this one by Freiling. If you're pouring boiling water in there, a bigger target is nice.
I imagine, especially before you've had your coffee in the morning.
Exactly. Those little things actually matter. All the little friction points add up. So if we have to choose, we're going to pick one with a wider opening. Another thing that really made it easier or harder to make good French press coffee were the lids and spouts. While you're letting that coffee steep, spouts and lids that have openings that don't close basically let all that heat out, and you want to maintain that temperature while it's steeping. So yeah, stick your finger in there and you'll be right in the coffee. It's wide open. Here, the Yeti has this opening on the top, as we pointed out before, and your coffee is cooling off before you get a chance to drink it. What we really loved was spouts that you could close. The Stanley has a little arrow. Very simple. When the arrow is pointing toward the spout, it is open. Otherwise, it is completely closed. It will stay hot. Everything is going to stay in there. And when you're ready to pour, no guessing, no squinting and looking and turning it like some of them. The Bodum Columbia, this also has the same method. There's a little arrow, spout is open, turned away is closed. Everything stays in, everything stays safe, everything stays hot.
So let's talk about cleaning.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is one of the things. When you're done with the coffee, you've had your delicious coffee, all those grounds are pressed to the bottom of the pot, and they're kind of stuck there. If you turn the pot over, they don't fall out into the garbage. The basic thing that we really recommend is to let it cool down, and then just go in with a wooden spoon or a silicone spatula, scoop it out, put that in your compost. It's great for compost, in the garbage, and then rinse and wash the pot. A little soapy water is good because the oils of the coffee are going to get stuck on those screens, and that will just make a bad taste after a while. So just warm soapy water, rinse well, let it air dry, you're done. OXO has this one that has this little extra device in here, and it's called the grounds lifter. It took out some of it, but it wasn't a complete solution.
And you're adding a whole nother piece to clean and deal with.
Didn't help enough to really make it worthwhile. S-Pro is a little bit of a pain to clean, to be perfectly honest. You know, it's a little bit more detailing, a little more effort. But again, if you want that clean cup of coffee, it works, but you got to do a little more rinsing and scrubbing.
All right, so what did we learn?
Well, the bottom line is you can make good French press coffee in any of the pots in our lineup if you use our method.
And the more expensive pots were not necessarily better at brewing.
Yeah, price did not appear to correlate with high-end materials or functional features. It just seemed more closely related to appearance and brand names.
If you like the looks of a pricier pot or it matches your kitchen, that's great for you. But we did have 3 top picks that won our testing.
Our winners are co-winners, and they're actually 2 insulated pots. We have the Stanley Classic Stay Hot French Press, 48 ounces, and the Bodum Columbia Insulated French Press, 34 ounces.
And the Bodum Chambord French Press coffee maker right here, the old classic, 34 ounces. This is our best buy. Great performance at a good price.
And if you're one of those people who really doesn't like classic French press coffee because it has a heavy body with a lot of suspended coffee particles, go for the S-Pro P7 French press. This one's double filters and silicone gasket give it that so-called cleaner cup.
Do you have a French press method you swear by? Let us know in the comments.
For more information about all the gear we talked about today, check out the links below or check out the ATK app.
Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode.
We'll see you next time. Au revoir.
Au revoir.